Good afternoon, music teachers. Today we're talking about changing note colors. All right, so the easiest way to change the note colors in this application is to highlight the graphic, as long as it's a font, not a graphic. And then this, if it is a font, this will show up right away. And you can right click on the font color here to choose it. Okay. But say for example, here let's go down here for a second. Say for example it's just a graphic. If I did that same thing on the graphic, it will only fill the outside. It won't actually. It'll only fill the inside of the shape. Because this is considered a shape. So that doesn't technically work. So if you want to change the graphic, we're going to have to insert a text box. So let's go over here. I'm going to erase that first. And then we're going to go to insert. So go ahead and click on that. When we do that, our bar will change. And now we're going to click on text box. And once we click on text box, it should give you a cursor that looks kind of like an upside down T, a lowercase t. And then you're going to left click and drag to create your text box as big as you want. And then you have to change your font rhythms. Oops. There we go, rhythms. And then I'm going to change the size because I want this to be pretty big. And then Q for a quarter note, depending on what you want to use. Q for quarter note, W for whole note, E for an eighth. R, this is a barred eighth. Okay. You can use these to connect them. When you go from R to T, but your box has to be big enough. There you go. And then I believe Y ends it. Yep, Y ends it. But there's a bunch of different. You would have to, take some time to go through it. And I think Matt's, if you watched the video where I talked about font licensing, I think the document that I opened may even tell you what some of those characters are and what they go to, particularly to his font. Anyways, all right, well, we're going to highlight our font, and then to change its color, click on font color, which we already looked at. But say for example this isn't quite the color you wanted. The colors that are in here are not the colors that you really want. So you can go down to more color. And this is just the standard colors that are already listed. So if you click on custom, this tab, then you have a whole range of colors that you can choose from. And I see this not changing right here. So if that's happening to you, take a look at this this bar right here, this lightness to darkness, and switch that bar so that you can see the color change there, because this is going from light to dark. So say for example, here's a really interesting color, green. I like that green, but maybe it's not the green that I really want. This color model that it's in right now is called red, green, blue, which means that you can change the amount of red that you put into this color, or you can change the amount of green that you put into this color, or the amount of blue. But maybe that's not what I wanted. Maybe I just wanted to change that green. So I'm going to go back to somewhere around here. I know I can't find that exact green, but I will get close. But if I wanted to make it closer to a specific green, see this model HSL? This is hue, saturation, and luminosity, I think. The hue is like different colors. So say for example, when I press on the up arrow, you're going to see this cursor travel to the right when I go up. And when I press it down, it's going to travel to the left. Okay, so that gives you an idea of what the U does. Saturation is like the brightness of the color to the less brightness. So this time the cursor is going to travel up and down. So if I press the up arrow, it will bring it all the way to the top. And if I press the down arrow, it will bring it all the way to the down. Okay, or make it less vibrant. Then luminosity, I believe, makes it more light and dark. So if I press up, it's going to make it lighter. And if I press down, it's going to make it darker. And you can also control this here. Okay. All right. Now down below, there's something called a hex code. The hex code is like a really specific number. This tells me that if I want to keep using this color over and over and over again, I don't want to forget it, I can write this number down, and then I will always have this color available to me. But there's a bunch of other ways to do things like that too, to have like really specific colors. Say for example, I want to use a color from like an image. So I'm gonna go up to insert again, and I'm gonna click on pictures, and I'm gonna take a picture from either my device or a stock image or an online picture, and I'm just gonna insert something random. Here we go, my banner. I'm gonna make it a bit smaller. Okay. Now, to get the same color as that blue, when I highlight my piece of font, I'm going to go down to the eyedropper, and the eyedropper is going to allow me to click right on top of the image to create that exact color blue. There are a couple other ways that you can do things like this. Like say for example you were looking for something again that was super specific. You couldn't drag the image into this program for whatever reason. You could go online and choose something called a color picker. So I'm gonna just type in color picker, and right away this gives me one that's right here that you can pull from like right to left to choose a color. And then if I press this button right here, this will actually copy this to my clipboard, so I have this code copied and can reuse that code somewhere. Or this red ketchup is kind of cool because it allows you to see where this says browse. I can actually insert a picture here. And then once I've got that picture in here, I can actually discover what the hex code is by left clicking, and it gives me the color here, and then here's my hex code right there. So I'll know exactly what color that is. So then I could copy this code, Control C, because it doesn't give me that copy option. And now I get to go back to our PowerPoint. I could hover over this, go back into more colors, and I'm gonna change this to being that color. And now you can see that this color is slightly different than that color. Very cool. So there's one more thing I would like to talk about for colors and color palettes. So say for example you use a lot of the same colors all the time. They're going to show up in what's called your palette or color palette. So see where it says recent colors? These are all colors that I use consistently, and so you can see some of these are the boom whacker colors, which I've used before, and some of these are colors that I just happen to use for other objects and other items recently. So if you're using colors over and over, the same ones over and over, they will show up right here in recent colors. All right, that's going to be it for me today. Thank you so much for joining us, and I hope that this has shown you all of your color needs. Have a great day.